This podcast. We are two friends in fiber coming to you from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada for at least another 3 weeks. 4 weeks?
6 at least.
Sure. 6 weeks. Diana changes her mind every week. It's how it goes. This is episode 151. I'm Jocelyn. My co-host is
Diana.
And technically, we eventually get to knitting and crochet and fiber stuff.
Yeah, I finally picked my end date for work, so...
Hey! It's a start.
I'm getting more consistent about when I'm actually moving away. It's definitely March now, it's not May.
Good. Well, I mean, hey, you're here till the end of March because we have birthdays.
Yes.
We have podcasts to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, you need to give the knitting club more notice than, hey, you're not going to see me, I'm gone in the middle of March, so I'm out. The girls will get mad.
Yes, I have the beginnings of at least 3 different going away party plans in my head for the various groups of people.
Was one of them me in an arcade? Because there's that arcade at the Forks that I absolutely cannot see into that I really want to go play at.
Okay, it's part of the plan now.
Because all of us at an arcade at the Forks.
Yeah, okay.
Overly caffeinated, overly sugared, 30-something-year-olds.
Heck yeah.
Playing arcades. I feel like that's a really good nerdy goodbye party.
That's actually super solid. I like this.
That's not a solid idea. It's just like the Nerf gun trampoline thing's a really good idea for me because I am klutzy as all get out and enjoy doing dumb stuff. Guys, I was on the radio and the news last week to the point where my grandpa was identified for being my grandpa, not the other way around. Ha! That's what you get, sir. 3+ decades of being so-and-so's granddaughter. It's his turn now. It's alright, I'm more often not recognized for my dad. Oh, are you so-and-so's daughter? Yes, my mom listens to the podcast. She's nodding her head right now. Diana, do you want to let everybody know what we're going to cover this week?
This week, in the show notes that we'll throw out the window right away, I have written down What's in Our Cup, Cool Threads, Woolly Workings, Yarn on the Go, Wool Gathering, and Kniterature.
Sweet. Listen, we'll get to the books.
Yes, we'll get to all of the things eventually. Will we do them as concisely as I've just listed them? Never. Absolutely never.
We're professional. I don't know what you're talking about. It is crazy talk.
Definitely. No. Does either one of us have, like, any sort of degree or certificate? That...
I've seen behind professional scenes of radio. We're doing fine.
Right, you're the radio expert now.
I'm the radio expert now. I am not a radio expert, guys. Not a radio expert.
Got more experience than I do. I've been on the radio once.
A lot of work. I've been on the radio several times.
Yeah, so there. You're between the two of us. You're the expert.
I've also been on the internet for a nerd rap video.
What? What? Since when?
Oh my goodness! Before I dated Mr. B, way back when I was dating Copen.
Okay.
So we're talking
Story time.
8 years ago.
Story time.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's have some story. I got my tea. I've got snacks. I've got tea. I've got my knitting. Let's have a story.
We have snacks because you brought cake with dinner today.
I brought dinner and cake. There are snacks.
Oh man, her husband's lucky. I like her. I like him, and I'm willing to let her go. She just brings dessert. She knows better. Back when Game of Toba had its old name.
Okay. Yeah.
Game of Toba is a weekend-long board gaming convention that happens in the city. If you guys like board games, they are definitely one of the things to do. You see them at all the big conventions. They run the board game room. Hi, Kirby. They're there. So way back when it was the original 3 who ran it, and it had its old name, it's still at the same place it was. 1 year, they had guys in and around doing filming and stuff, and that was the year that I was volunteering. And they needed people to be in the background of a nerd rap video. So I was in the background of a nerd rap video in my volunteer t-shirt, and we all know those look smoking hot, dancing. I think there's an internet link somewhere I can get, Diana. No promises. I may not be able to find it at this point. Guys, it was almost a decade ago. It was a while.
I'm adding nerd rap video to the show notes, and you better find me that link.
I will try. If it's still out there, I will find it for you because I can't believe I haven't shown you that.
This is news. This is important news.
I'm in the background. I'm not even a background singer. I'm just in the background dancing.
This is important news.
This is not breaking news.
Yes, it is.
Listen, there is video of me poorly fat biking on the internet now. This is not the most embarrassing thing I have done in my life. What? I had a good time. I left my hoodie over there. Guys, I was on CBC last week. I did the Winter Warrior Challenge.
Did well at the Winter Warrior Challenge.
Yeah, I took second place. I lost by 2 points. So it was a really tight, close race. It was tight enough that they'd made plans just in case me and the first place winner tied. Because there was a fear that that might happen. It didn't. Didn't expect to win. I got a lot of stuff in my... Those links Diana can get you because they're all over my Facebook, so those we can share easily. So I did that, and that was a delightful fun. So if you want to see my attempt at snow sculpting, ice, fat tire biking, which is like biking in the winter, like the super fat tires.
Yeah.
And then snow shoveling and obstacle coursing, which involved a snowshoe run walking. I walked. The other two competitors ran. I didn't have my cane. I collapsed my cane and I passed it off to a dad. And I say dad, because we had to snowshoe run to small humans, well, like 6 and older. Unzip their coat partway, zip their coat up, scarf them, put them on a crazy carpet, pull the crazy carpet while eating a donut, because the kids had a donut. They had Timbits. So like in the donut, like donut in face. Didn't even think about it. I was like, hey, Timbit, in we go. Pull the kids to the pylons, unbury our ice scrapers. Somebody had to point out where my ice scraper was. Like, I'm going to see an ice scraper buried in snow. Nope. Then we had to go over the bumps to the CBC car that they had generously watered the windows of for us to make sure there was a good amount of ice. Thanks, guys. And then we had 10 seconds, timed 10 seconds to scrape as much space as possible. That was my Friday challenge. I then went for breakfast because that was a lot.
That's a heck of a...
That was the final day. It was minus 20 something. It was crisp, you guys. Turns out I like snowshoeing. It's like walking in flip-flops. I love flip-flops. It's like the lady's putting the shoes on my feet. She's from Fort White, right? And I was like, okay, any trips for walking? She's like, well, they're similar to flip-flops. I'm like, oh man, I'm a flip-flop pro. I'm like, I own $30, $20 flip-flops. Like, I own expensive, cushioned, fancy flip-flops. As Diana, I own fancy flip-flops from the flip-flop shop. They're a name brand. Like, I'm a little obsessive about my flip-flops. Like, oh, cool. And I went walking. It's exactly like walking in flip-flops. It's so easy. I'm like, huh, wow. I think we need to go do some snowshoe walking because I can totally do that. Super up my alley. And I can just go slow enough that I can see what's going on. Of course, they had it all set up, and then I'm set up several paces ahead. The other two competitors blared by me. I'm like, oh, I'm not fast.
Just going for a nice snowshoe stroll?
I went for not falling over or frightening the 6-year-old that had to deal with me. We had no idea. We got the email the night before, and it was because she sent the email to everybody, and she's like, dads, don't forget to bundle the kids up. I'm like, what obstacle course involves dads and kids? So I'm like stressing it Thursday night to Friday morning. I'm like, what am I doing that involves small humans? Oh boy. You guys, I had fun last week. Having said that, it was exhausting. It was a lot of work. Oh, super glad I don't have to edit and put up something daily. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could. So many props go out to people who do that. Once a week is more trouble than I can usually keep on top of. So, that was my life story. Diana has way more fun adventures.
I don't know, you have way better stories.
It's because I do things like fall off fat bikes, and I sculpt sculptures middle of the University of Winnipeg campus that I can't see.
I mean, that sounds way better.
I put my cane on the top of the ice block so I could find the thing, so that I could start, because the moment I turned away, I lost it again. So I was like, that's it. Fold the cane up, it went on top, and that way I could find the stupid ice block again. That's my life, people. That's what I do for fun. Go on radio programs. I didn't win us the grand prize.
What kind of friend are you not winning me a spa package? Worst co-host ever.
But I won me a hoodie.
It does look like a nice hoodie, to be fair.
It's fuzzy on the inside.
Ooh.
I know. I'm really happy with my hoodie. It's all washed and ready to wear. And I have a new hat. With the pom-pom on it. Which I wore. So there.
So So now that we've done basically the Yarn on the Go segment first.
Oh, whatever.
We didn't even make it to the first segment before we threw the show notes in the trash.
You started with the story about the wrapping dance video.
I don't even know how we got
Tuesday
where we
evening and I'm fed and over-caffeinated. This is going to go great, guys.
I don't know how we got where we are, but what are we drinking tonight?
I'm drinking some mint tea because we had some Stellas. Some Stellas for dinner. You guys follow us on Instagram. Here comes a social media plug for you. We're doing the February challenge. And by we, I mean me.
Yes.
Because I'm the one who does those things. I like them. I enjoy them. And for the 11th, because we're recording Tuesday evening in February, and it is exactly 1 month shy of my birthday. So it's 2 days shy of yours.
Wait,
nope, a month shy of yours, because you're the day after me.
Yes.
So it's a month till your birthday and just shy of a month to my birthday.
Yes.
Because my sister just got older. And you should have seen me and my mom doing the math for that in our heads. How old am I? How old does that make my sister? Quick, what years were we born in? Which, by the way, never forget the year, but I will forget how old I am. Cool. That's a thing.
Well, I mean, the year you were born never changes.
It doesn't, but your age constantly changes.
Yeah.
And I finally get used to one and I have to start using another.
I know, right?
Irritating. So you will see the photo of the Stella boxes today on day 11 because that was the black and white challenge. So I took a photo of our pre-dinner consumption. It was a good dinner.
Solid food.
It was good. Stella's is always a good choice. But Diana Smart came with cake.
Well, yeah.
Which means I needed to have some mint tea for dessert because I am very full. And I'm not done. Still got some cake.
I've got 2 half slices of cake. Well, I guess what amounts to
A whole slice of cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got a piece of chocolate cake and a piece of carrot cake, and I didn't know which one I wanted, and you didn't care, so we split the cakes in half. So each of us got half of a carrot and half of a chocolate cake.
It was way too much complexity for just consuming cake.
It was. Really
It's
good,
a
though.
cake complexity.
A cake complexity. What's that thingy? It's Inception. It's Cakeception. There you go. That might be our title for the episode, guys. So I'm drinking some mint tea by Twinings. I let Diana make it. I just asked for mint tea, so it was either Twinings or traditional medicinals.
I think it was actually Stash.
Was it Stash?
I think so.
I have a lot of mint tea, apparently. Cool.
I also grabbed some Stash. I have some cinnamon vanilla.
They make a good cinnamon vanilla.
Cinnamon vanilla? Cinnamon spice? It's cinnamon and something. I don't know.
I think it's cinnamon
just
vanilla.
grabbed a couple of Stash tea bags.
I have a bowl. I might take a photo one day. It's literally just loose tea bags in there. Because I get the boxed teas.
It's a bowl full of Stash tea, mostly.
Get down to half the box. I pull it out and I stick it in the bowl and like mix it up.
It's a good way to go.
I think so. Because
Then
then
you should do that.
You know, surprise tea. And you're like, I don't know what I want to drink. You stick your hand in the bowl, pull it out, and go, cool, I'll have that.
Just eliminates that whole decision-making stress.
Yeah.
I love
Helps me out a lot. Alright.
Okay.
Must be cinnamon vanilla, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Cool threads.
Ooh. So, I wore a different shawl every day this week.
Yeah, this is, in case anyone was wondering, this is the Jocelyn show. I didn't do much interesting fibering this week.
Well, it just made sense because I'm known for knitting.
Yes, as an advertising
for the knitting podcast.
Yeah, it seems legit.
On my local national radio program in my home city, it just made sense to wear a different shawl that I'd made every day of the week.
Yes.
I did. So I did. I wore my Find Your Fate, and I wore my coffee shop shawl, and I wore my Goldfish Memory shawl, and I wore my Squish shawl, and then I ran out of days. I still have more shawls. I have more heavyweight shawls I didn't even pull out. There's not a lot of rain in April. There is the alpaca one that I did that I don't remember the name of. That was that first semicircle one I ever did. In the 2 tones of alpaca.
Yeah,
that was a while ago. I don't
remember. That was a very long time ago. I don't.
But I love that one. Only good at -30 though. Otherwise, too hot. Too hot. I overheat too fast. Then I wore my Sarah Hair Don't Care. I even wore it on the TV. I was known for not wearing a hat. So like the last day I put my hat on. Thursday we were out for 45 minutes sculpting. I put my hat on, and I put my hat on for the last day. Just make everybody happy. And I wore my Mallow cardigan underneath my sweater because it's under my winter coat sweater. And it's been freaking amazing. It's perfect. It's lightweight. It breathes. It keeps the heat in without making me sweaty.
That sounds like everything you want in an underlayer.
It is everything I want in an underlayer. So super stoked that A, I actually finished a cardigan, and B, it's so practical. Okay, finished a cardigan I'll wear to the house. I have a lot of oversized ones that don't fit under my winter coat.
Fair.
As I sit here working on the sleeve of an oversized one that will not fit under my winter coat.
Come springtime, you are so set, though.
Oh yeah, this with my backpack will be great.
Oh yeah.
I know. So pumped. It'll be good. Probably wear it a lot while I'm out with Mom. But that's what I wore.
I was much less interesting. Right now I'm wearing my sockhead slouch. There we go. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I was traveling for a good chunk of this past week. Like 4 out of the last 7 days was traveling. So I brought one shawl, which was my Find Your Fade. I was winning at the airport look. Like, I just looked...
You nailed that, got off the airplane, and you looked like a human?
I was along with all the good things that happened on my Friday flight out to Waterloo.
It's entirely because your luggage was 1 pound under the max.
Perfect. Like,
that's why.
Like, flying a budget airline, you expect things to be like, but like, I had the best, like, my luggage was 1 pound under the max weight. I got to breeze through all the lines. Like, it was just...
Who were you?
Exceptionally perfect. And then on top of all that...
You paid for it on Saturdays, that's fine.
Let's not... I don't want to recount that again. Let's just say my Saturday night ended with cleaning up broken glass at 2 a.m. without a broom or a mop.
For the record, if you guys comment below, I will make Diana come back and answer them. It'll be hey, people want to know about the glass story in the comments. Go.
Anyway, my Friday was exceptionally good, but beyond all the good things that I was telling you about earlier...
Oh, yeah.
I... Humble brag? Unhumble brag.
There's no humble bragging. There
was no humble... I looked freaking amazing with my Find Your Fade shawl and my leather jacket and my shiny little backpack, and I'm like, I'm rocking this airport look.
There's no humble in that brag.
There was no humble in that brag.
No humble in that brag whatsoever.
Hashtag no humble.
No humble. Oh my god. If I'd been beside you, I would have been like, what are you waiting for? Paparazzi to pop out? No, we're not that famous. Or I would have been like,
I was having a good hair day too. Like, my hair's doing stupid things today, but like my hair was like, I got it dyed the night before, and it was just living its best life. And
no wonder you paid for it Saturday.
God,
too much good stuff on Friday.
Friday was just exceptionally good, and then Friday kind of sucked.
Saturday
kind of sucked. But yeah, so I traveled with my Find Your Fade, which was fantastically versatile in that it can be long and drapey and dramatic when you wanted to.
When we did Knit City, I had my Find Your Fade, and you watched me just convert the snot out of it for every situation. It was perfect.
Oh, I need a sweater. Okay, wear it with the point behind you.
Drape. Yeah.
Oh, I need to bundle up a scarf because it's windy. Now it's a scarf.
Oh, I need a blanket while I'm sleeping on the airplane. Woof! It's a blanket. It's just.
Oh, yes. I need something drapey and dramatic while it's lightly breezy on a beautiful sunny day outside.
Whoosh! Go.
Find Your Fade is just beautiful.
Yeah. It's that way with all the really, really big shawls, like the foreskin and up shawls. They just are so versatile.
Man, much as I hate how long it took me to knit that, I need another one.
I'm going to do the Stephen West one. The star, I want to call it Snowflake. Starflake? Yeah, because that's a foreskin fingering.
Oh, yeah.
So we're not quite like, and I mean, if we're honest, the Find Your Fade is 7, but you don't use all of the skeins. You're not using 7 complete skeins. You're more like using like 5 complete skeins.
Yeah.
So 4 skeins right in that white ratio, and then I'll have this great big, again, versatile drapey shawl.
I'm excited for that.
In podcast colors, when I think about it. Okay.
I'm excited for that shawl kit that I bought that I don't remember. The Mohairino Medley.
Madness? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I want you to pick that up, too, because I love those colors.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
I want to do it in the original colors he did it in, like the 70s couch colors. Ooh. Only without mohair, because mohair makes me sneeze.
Fair enough. I'm not sure how I feel about the mohair, but like there was a kit and it was perfect. It was like natural earth tones with some blue accent.
Totally you.
Yeah.
Where can you see me in the fall rocking that 70s couch
pumpkin
oranges and browns?
Heck yeah.
Ugh, gotta do it. I gotta find them in like similar colors in fingering and not mohair, because I'm not a mohair fan.
Totally fair. I'm not sure how I feel about mohair. I've never worked with it, so I figure I'll try it.
I've worked with it on and off. It's not for me.
I also wore my glam lamb at work. Since I moved to desks at work, and where I sit now is a lot warmer. Yeah. So I'll wear like a sleeveless shirt at my desk and to be like, man, it's hot in here. And then I go get coffee and it's like 5 degrees cooler and I'm like, oh man, I need a sweater to go get my coffee.
Sure, I've done that.
So the glam lamb lived on the back of my chair at work for a couple of days. It might just live there permanently, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, yeah, at least till March when you leave.
Yeah, because it's really big and bulky and kind of annoying to get under a winter coat, and you don't necessarily need it under a winter coat.
Not really, no, not unless you're
Tomorrow I
outside.
Will. Tomorrow I will.
Because we have a cold snap. Welcome back to Manitoba!
It was +1 in Waterloo on yesterday, whenever that day was.
For the record, guys, till yesterday, we were in low single digits in the negative numbers. Diana's gone. We had highs of 6, 5, 4 all weekend. She comes home. Today it's dropping to -25 before the wind chill. I listened to it this morning. I'm like, well, come on, Diana.
I'm sad. I wore my leather jacket and sweater and my fade all weekend, and it was perfect. I'm sad.
Oh my god, this is what you get for toting your love of Ontario winter weather.
Sad.
That's what you get. You know better.
Whimper. Mope. Pout, even.
Pout. Woo. It's getting serious.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Oh, did I interrupt too much of what you're wearing?
Nope, no, that was the end of it.
Alright.
What's going on here? Oh, that's what's going on here. I came right round to the end of the thing and I wasn't even paying attention. Look at that! I finished a round! Ah!
Well, then why don't you start first, because you finished a row.
Perfect. I have all of one project, because again, traveling, I had one project.
That's fine.
But I got...
It's an important project.
Quite a bit of progress done.
Oh my goodness gracious, guys. I've fallen way behind.
I am just a few rows shy of...
armpits?
Of armpits, yeah. I think I'm about 5 or 7 rows shy of armpits on my Flax Pullover.
Oh boy!
It's upside down. It looks better when it's right side up. Let's do that.
Do the thing.
But yeah, I got a good...
God, that pumpkin spice color.
Isn't it so good? I got a good couple of few inches done there.
Such a beautiful burnt orangey color.
I know, and it looks so good with the charcoal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It'll just separate that orange from my face just a little bit.
Which is what you need to have done.
Yep. And I remembered that I should be alternating skeins after like my first 3 inches. Fortunately, you can't tell. That's exactly what I did.
Nice.
So I've got my 2 skeins over here. Well, my one tiny little ball is almost done, so I'm almost into my 3rd ball. Ooh. The other one's a cake that still looks like a cake, so I won't pull it out because also it has yarn barf and it's very tangled. This is my lovely. Ooh. Oh, just look at that texture on the camera. It looks so good.
That garter ball.
Excuse me. I'm just too excited. I'm choking on my excitement.
So what you're saying is oxygen was optional in Waterloo?
Oh my gosh, so I did so much driving up and down hills and then up and down in the airplane. Like, my ears are so plugged up. My parents picked me up from the airport to drive me home and they're trying to tell me things and I'm like, what? Come again? Say what now? Like I'm 70 years old with a hearing disability.
Your old person hearing issues?
Gosh. It was bad. It was really bad. I just couldn't hear anything and I wasn't sure if I was talking really loudly or not.
Oh, I love you so much.
Anyway, when I get to the appointed moment where I'm supposed to separate out the sleeves, I'm going to put it on some scrap yarn, I think, and then try it on just to make sure that it is, in fact, increased enough. Because I was having trouble getting gauge, and this is...
talking, I need my scissors. I'm abandoning the screen.
And this is as close to a gauge as I'm going to get, so I will increase further, should I happen to need to.
Keep going, you can do it!
I also want to show off these little laser cut stitch markers that, crap, where did we get the stitch markers? They were at Knit City. They were at
Black Cat Fibers.
Black Cat Fibers booth, but I don't remember the company that actually made the little laser stitch
No,
markers.
it was a different company who did it, but they were with the wonderful gang at Black Cat Fibers.
Anyway, it's a set of polyhedral dice as laser cut stitch markers, and I'm just enjoying that so much. And then I've got my garter section separated out with these basically invisible on the camera little brass ring markers. And I'm enjoying this so much, and it's knitting up way quicker than I thought it would, and I'm just so very, very, very happy with this. And like the increases are looking all nice.
Done.
And I just really happy. I'm also really warm.
It's the hat, dear.
It's that, but also I'm wearing a sweater, and that was foolish. I am wearing a sweater on top of long sleeves. That was.
Ooh, don't do that, because you got a thing to pile on your head.
I do got a thing to pile on my head. Did you just finish it?
I literally just finished it right now.
Just now. Perfect.
I have an FO. Woohoo!
Sweater.
I was gonna have
away.
an FO and a half, but I had to tink back a whole bunch. One of the ones I'm working on. Better?
Oh gosh, my hair looks terrible. Just everybody ignore my hair.
I think the internet will forgive you.
Oh, it's terrible.
Or they won't.
Or they won't. Whatever.
One of the two.
Okay, you have a finished object. Which is good.
Aha!
I have all of that. That was my one project. That's it. That's all I got.
Cool.
The rest of this is the Jocelyn show.
Oh, jeebus.
So I can provide entertaining commentary on your projects, and that's about it.
Sure. Okay, no pressure. Yeah, got it. Thought last week was stressful. Dear heavens. Okay.
Sorry. I was on an airplane.
It's true, you were. So last week I finally found my ball of yarn for the dwell cardigan that I needed to finish. I'll tell you how much of that bulky I used. This thing was bigger than the size of my head. It's now significantly smaller.
Yes, it is a normal size ball of yarn now.
And it did 1/2 sleeve. Bulky goes quick. Crochet goes even quicker on my ginormous hook. Like, I can almost make out through my bifocals the size millimeter hook this is. I want to say 9 or 10.
10.
So on my size 10 millimeter hook, which, yes, again, if you follow us on Instagram, occasionally stirs my coffee. Because it's
Really?
there. Well, if I'm sat down and I forgot to stir my coffee, it's right here at my computer desk. Why wouldn't I just stir? Why would I get back up?
Hashtag crafter life.
You know what? I might one point. I get lazy and I don't want to bother. So if I'm sitting down for breakfast or something and it's right beside me, I just use my crochet hook. Feel free to judge me. I don't care. So it is done. Done, 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 done. I have some ends to weave in, but really, whatever.
It's finished.
It's finished. It's a finished project. So the dwell cardigan is a beautiful oversized cardigan. I did a couple modifications to it. It's got this really pretty patterning to it, and I did it in some
So good.
Glacier Barcelona. Oh, the colorway is Glacier. The yarn is Barcelona. It's by Loops and Threads.
I can't help you. I'm
I
sorry.
think it's Loops and Threads. Anyway, guys, it's acrylic, so I can throw this thing in the washer machine in the jar, which is good because could you imagine hand drying an oversized bulky sweater?
That would be the only thing to dry that week, especially here in the winter.
Yeah,
It's the only thing getting dry that week.
I don't think so. That's not how I like my oversized sweaters. So I have one I did last year before. It's a giant granny square essentially, and
This
it's
is bothering me. It's going up. It's going up.
amazing and it looks great. So I finished my second sleeve, so I got 2 matching sleeves now. Diana can put it on her head, and I can literally weave in the 2 ends later, and it will come down to just at my elbow, and it's got that beautiful open drape to it. The modification I did make is in some of the assembly they have you put it together and then they have you mark the bottom section that would go from one side of your hip across your back 40, as they say, to your other hip, and you don't add depth to that, you just add a collar on the front of the shawl. I really, with my height and where these the cardigans tend to fall, I love the drapey back piece. Because of my height, backs tend to sit a little higher than initially anticipated for the length between my shoulders to the small of my back. And I like to cover my butt because then it means I can wear my leggings, which are not pants, around because my butt's covered. Which is important to me.
Okay.
I don't want to flash my keister. If you want to see the derriere, you buy me dinner first. Like, there are rules here, people. Rules. And I stick to my rules. So it also means, like, if I want to putter around in, like, my nightgowns.
Oh, yeah.
My butt's covered. I'm warm. I can, like, putter around with my mom in the morning and I don't have to worry about getting dressed or anything. Or if I'm, ooh, I've got 3 heads. Or if I'm out and I'm coming home from swimming or something. Especially in the springtime where you need a layer in the morning, but you don't in the afternoon. And I'm going from swimming out. I have wet hair. I don't blow dry my hair. I don't. And so this will just give me a little bit of extra depth and stuff. And again, just given my body type and my height, it looks really good to have that extra drapey bit. So it is done. I have a beautiful neutral gray and white crochet cardigan to wear. Long-time listeners will know I said the magical words acrylic, so it might disappear into my mother's wardrobe. If it does, I will make her buy me yarn for another one. This didn't take very long. The thing that held me up was the fact that I couldn't find my one freaking ball of yarn for, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And it was so out in the open, Diana should have seen it.
Should have. Didn't.
Didn't.
Nobody did.
Nobody did. It's not good. We had a blonde moment of epic proportions going on.
It extended across multiple people.
It's great, guys. So I will give this a rough fold.
Such that it fits on my head.
And hopefully you can balance that on your head.
Ugh.
It'll be heavy.
It's actually not really. It's surprisingly light.
It's a 10mm bulky yarn. There's a lot of space in there going on.
Yeah, it's still in
there.
frame. Look at me.
Oh boy. So, done. A thing that is done. Which is great. I'm super happy. I'm going to weave in those ends and wear that. Oh, so stoked. Okay.
Oh, still too warm.
Yeah, well, it's a lot. Super quick update. I am still working on these... I was going to say cardigan. Blanket
cardigan.
For my aunt. It involves a multitude. It's a lot. I have to make what feels like 50 billion 2.5-inch sized granny crochet squares. And 2.5 inches on a 5mm hook is 2 rounds, people. So there are roughly 70 granny squares per ball. I have to do 6 balls, 2, 4, 6. No, I have to do 12 balls, 6 in shades of blue, 6 in shades of green, and then I have 44 ounces of a neutral color to do, which is many balls.
Yeah.
And then I have to sew them all together. I did not bring all over 50 plus squares that I finished, just the little handful, because I have to finish this ball, I have to weave in the ends, and then get another ball done this week. So, on the bright side, works really well for me when I'm doing things like watching TV shows, like getting through the Expanse television series, which I still don't like, watching The Magicians, which I do like. It is also an adaptation from a book.
5 more rows.
Sweet!
To sleeves.
So, gives me something to do while I'm working on that. Alright. We're going to get rid of the dwell cardigan, otherwise we're going to melt.
Yes. I'm already
It's
melting.
warm in here, guys.
I'm definitely melty.
Blend into yarn on the go, guys. I was out a lot this week. I got the official fancy crown put on my face. The tooth, guys. So my front tooth is all super porcelainy and pretty. They did an amazing color with the color match and stuff. So people are like, eee.
Yes.
As I grin at Diana.
You have teeth.
I have teeth.
Yep.
One of them is not real. And for a front tooth, we spent a lot of time making sure that color match turned out well.
Yeah, you look like you have teeth.
Which is great.
Just teeth.
Which is awesome. Because of that, I was, if you guys know, working. We had the dreaded 2-hour doctor appointment, which I never wanted to do again. Told my dentist, it wasn't him, it was me. Said that was fine. That's a long appointment for anybody, including them. True. So I was working up the foot of my sock, my first jack sock. And you can tell from where we are on the foot and the heel have now met, which means it is time for cuff. So now...
That is a sock.
I have a sock. I need to decide if I want to do the cuff in the contrasting color or not, and I don't think I'm going to, because I'm worried that I won't have enough of the small ball to do the other heel and toe, and have enough, because you eat a fair bit up doing the garter heel. So I was thinking about it today, and I think I'm just going to do my ribbing in the jack colorway. So that's what I'm going to do and finish the sock off. Will I immediately jump into a second sock for Jack? No. I think I wanna knit a different color for a while, so I think I will start another sock. And I will go back to my 2 to 10 because I haven't done 2 at a time in a while. So lives in my airline bag. It goes with me everywhere, and I think I'm gonna maybe pull out one of the German sock yarns that I have and do 2 at a time, toe up. Not worry about contrasting toes or heels or anything, and just go and see how long I can make the legs. So
sounds like a plan.
that's the thing. So I will have a half-done object next week, mostly because the ribbing I have to pay attention while I'm doing. And my downtime reading right now is like Stream of Consciousness, conversational Russian novel. Dostoevsky, it's the idiot. That is not a half listen, half do a thing.
That is an all listen?
That is an all listen. Maybe you could try stockinette. But be prepared to pick up stitches. It's a serious thinky book. I'm enjoying it. It's a serious thinky book. I'm not doing huge chunks in it because, guys, my brain would explode. Okay, the other thing, more crochet work. I had this finished and then I realized I'd made a mistake, so I ripped back. Because it's crochet, you can do that. I'm working on a leg warmer. So here's my leg warmer.
That looks good.
It's just done in some, and again, because I love to wash my winter stuff because it gets dirt and road grime and
oh yeah,
it gets yucky.
Road salt.
And I'm really impatient with the drying process. So I forgot to bring over my other cuff, whatever. I have 2 cuffs done, and the cuffs are this huge section right here. So I'm like 29 stitches in length. And it is crocheted, and crocheting through the back loop only creates this little rib pattern. So it looks like it has been knit to, purl to. So it looks like a rib. It's not. This is all crocheted. But I have to do the cuff first. So I did both of my cuffs for my feet because I decided to go from the top down because then it gets faster as you go because you're decreasing.
Makes sense.
It helps me. So it can live on the top of my boot, and then my cuff can live over my boot, so my boot can live inside. Between the cuffs so that the boot leg warmer stays up.
Yep. Because
leg warmers that disappear inside your boots in the middle of winter.
Not helpful.
Not helpful. And then I wanted something that was snug, like a dense weave without being super thick. Because again, you don't have a ton of space in your winter boots. You're not supposed to, but you want like that extra layer of warmth.
Yeah.
So I went single crochet. No pattern. I literally went 29 stitches because I could fold the cuff over and get a really big cuff. And then did the ribbing, crochet ribbing. Bound it off. Well, you know, knotted it off. And then it picked up all the stitches around the one bottom piece. And I've been single crocheting down my leg. No measurements. This fits to my leg, which means every 5 or 6 rounds I put it on my leg and see if I need to decrease yet or not. If not, I keep going. If I do, I decrease by 4 stitches.
So you're going to make a project page for this one, especially because there's no pattern I can link to, right?
Sure.
So when there's no links in the show notes,
Pipe dream.
You know who's to blame.
Jocelyn.
I do my best.
So I'd gotten all the way down to the bottom, and I started by going in the round because it's a slightly different single crochet, but I decided I like the little look you get when you go one way and then reverse. I like the stacked structure of the stitch better.
Okay.
So I changed my mind on that. And you know what? They're my leg warmers, so I can do that. And it doesn't bother me. I'll just do the same thing on the other leg so it matches. So that's done. No problem. I had a whole leg. I don't have short legs, guys. So that was a lot of crocheting I pulled out. But I'd made a mistake up around the upper leg, so it irritated me. I had a hole where there wasn't supposed to be a hole. And I was like, you know what? I can do this without really thinking about it too hard. I will just undo it and do it properly. Because it will drive me insane if it's wrong. So I have pulled it back. So hopefully next week I have both done. And I have 2 leg warmers. I mean, I'm going to keep making leg warmers because I like knee-high boots and I like walking outside in the wintertime, so this seems good. Also, I picked the Aran color in the Bernat Premium because this will look good no matter what color my winter boots are. Or my coat, or my scarves, or my mittens. It's just a nice neutral beige. Which is exactly what I needed. So,
perfect.
That's all done on a 5mm hook. There's your pattern.
Such pattern.
I should probably write that up for everybody. That is it. That is all I've been working on this week. There we go. Jocelyn show done. I even talked about my yarn on the go, so we're good.
Yeah, you talked about that already. So that brings us to some wool gathering. Our next Patreon hangout is going to be Saturday, February the 22nd.
Yep, you get to see me a lot next week.
Is that next week already?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, we got Knit Club on Friday, and then I see you Saturday morning.
Huh, and then recording on Sunday.
Yep.
Well.
A lot that weekend. Oh boy. Be sick of me by the time we're done.
Kidding.
Ouch.
I mean.
Cool. I see how it is. Okay. Yep. I'm just gonna sit over here and crochet. Nobody likes me. Oh gosh.
So Patreon is just a way of financially supporting us if you can or want to. You can just make us a monthly donation of $1 or whatever. There's various tiers. Jocelyn set it all up. I don't know why I'm trying to talk about this part. If you want to financially support us, check out our Patreon link in the show notes or in the description box below the YouTube video. And it just pays for our hosting fees, the prize giveaways, that sort of thing. Hopefully eventually some equipment upgrades.
Hey, we finally figured out what equipment grades we wanted. That's a start.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of research for me to look into everything.
So obviously we're going to be doing this a little bit differently once I move away.
Yep.
So we need a bit of equipment and software upgrade to do a halfway decent job of that.
Do a thing over the internet.
But yes, if you are a Patreon supporter, that means once a month you can come hang out with us upon the Google Hangouts. We send out a link about, I think I'm actually reasonably on top of things, and so it's about an hour or so before. There's a link that goes out, and at noon Central Standard Time you can join the hangout and show us what you're working on, and see what we're working on live, and watch me screw things up, and choke on my tea.
Yes, one of the things I put on the list is for Diane to get a little stand to put her phone on, so we no longer go, woo! In the middle of these chats. And wireless headphones that are of decent quality so she can just sync them to things. And we're not manually going, wee! And she pulls her headphones the other direction.
See, now that I live alone, I don't need to have headphones plugged in because there's nobody for me to disturb with noise.
That's not going to last.
No, but still for this next one, I can just set you up on the table, and that is how it is. And honestly, that's the camera on my phone is the best camera I own.
The camera on most people's phones is the best camera. Guys, we record on my phone. That's how good the camera is. I can upload in high quality HD, like 1080 HD, on my camera, front facing.
Yeah. So. Anyway, yeah, that was the Patreon thing.
Yep.
The other thing going on is the podcast-iversary knit-along.
Yeah, you're working on it.
Yeah, we're knitting to celebrate 3 years of podcasting, which occurs next month.
I love how your voice still gets a little incredulous at that.
Well, yeah, it's a weird number. Years, multiple years of doing a hobby. I'm just not going to think about it too hard. Because if it's been 3 years of this, that means it's been a lot of years of some other things. I can say I've almost been knitting for a decade.
Yes, you can.
Almost, not quite. 9 years.
Close. Whatever.
That's
You love the hobby.
Yeah.
You seem to have accustomed yourself to my presence once a week. It's fine.
Anyway, to celebrate 3 years of podcasting, we're doing a knit-along. A podcast anniversary knit-along, or podcast-iversary. However you want to spell that is fine. I think I spell it differently every week.
I've spelled it differently every time I've had to write it down.
There is no wrong spelling, there is no right spelling. However you feel like spelling it that day.
Absolutely.
If you would like to join us, you have until the end of March to finish an adult-sized sweater by Tin Can Knits. They have lots of free options. The Flax Pullover is one such free option. They do most of their sweaters in sizes from newborn to 3 or 4 XL.
5XL?
5XL?
They do really big.
Like,
I'm not
all the
near
sizes.
the biggest size, and I'm a 3XL.
They do
via chest measurements.
Most
if people
of the
are
sizes.
like, Jocelyn, you're not that big. Via chest measurements, yes, I am. They do a lot of sizing. They're really size inclusive. Have you seen a lot of the love notes people have been making? So pretty.
I have not seen that one. I'll have to look it up.
Oh, so pretty. I'm like, hello, I have too many things on the go already. I do not have time.
And I'm realizing how quickly a simple sweater can go, and I'm like, oh, all those other sweaters in my queue that I've been queuing up for the past 10 years. I can totally do any of those now.
Yep.
If I can do an even star shawl, I can do anything.
That is the general rule of thumb I think we can stick to, yes.
I could do a colorwork sweater. No problem. She says as she screws up stockinette or ribbing or something very, very simple.
Things. Well, we've all done it. You did a super high complex lace. What, can I 2x2 rib? No. Can you eyelet lace?
Heck no.
No. Basic beginner lace?
Not.
Not even remotely. But you want her to do a increase 7, decrease 3 in the same stitch? Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Looks great. That's how it works.
Oh, that's my train of thought. Podcast anniversary.
Yep.
Till the end of March.
March, yeah.
There's a chatter thread on our Ravelry group.
Thank you, Asa.
Thank you, Asa, for
our amazing moderator.
Thank you for doing the things that we always say we're going to do and then never actually do.
It's not just me. Asa just rescued Diana.
They're actually getting done now. So there's a chatter thread and there's a finished objects thread. If you would like to be entered for prizing, post your finished, a picture of your
wow.
Post a picture of your finished sweater in the finished objects thread.
Woo, well done. Nice rescue. I'm leaving the butter that in.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Yep. It's necessary information.
Whew, that was way too difficult. I think we're on to literature now.
Hey, we're on to books.
You're in a read-a-thon. So in addition to having more interesting knitting projects and yarn on the go, you also have way more interesting books than I do this week.
I will for next week too, because lots of reading is going on right now. I am doing the Topol Read-A-Thon. It is not an unusual read-a-thon. I have, I think, done every round since round 2. So I've been doing it for a while. A, because I love books. B, because the rules of the book are a book over 500 pages is a tome. I am an epic fantasy reader. A book over 500 pages is like a Tuesday for me. So I'm like, cool, this hits all the things I want to read. Really big books.
I like big books and I cannot lie.
Yes, all the innuendo are meant. So I was super excited to do when they announced the dates for round 10, which was in February. I was like, sweet, read-a-thon, start the year off way, good to go, right? Then Sam, who's Thought on Tomes on YouTube, who does the primary running. She's got co-hosts and stuff that help her out, which is great if you guys check it out. Released a bingo challenge card for prompts. And, well, Jocelyn's a sucker for our bingo challenge card. That's why we're doing one for our knitting projects 2 years in a row, guys, because I really enjoy it. So I was like, there are 9 squares, and if I get over 7 squares filled in, I am a reading sage. For the record, that's 4 books in 2 weeks over 500 pages. So I did the math. It's over 2,672 pages in the next 2 weeks. In a fortnight. That's a lot of reading, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, cool. So before the read-a-thon started, I finished The Rook by Danielle Mallory, which I've read before, and it was a reread for me. In this case, I listened to it rather than reading it, because I have a physical copy. I forgot it was a debut novel. I forgot how much I loved that book. I have already purchased the second in the series, because I'm going to read the second one, because I really liked that book, and I can't believe that was a debut novel for her. Australian, amazing sort of urban fantasy sort of idea set up. Super good. I read this, the back cover synopsis?
Summary? Synopsis?
Summary? One of those two. To Diana, and she added it to her list.
Yep.
Really good.
I'm going to read it.
It's just very well done. So I finished that up, and then I finished The Duchess up by, I forgot her name, that's why I gave it to you.
I proceeded to not write it down.
Disc. I gave you the info.
You did.
It's a classical Regency romance for the Duchess. It's the part of the Duchess War series. So I finished that. So there's my lighthearted fluffy, because everybody remembers How Dare the Sunrise, and that was deep. And then I did a lot of other deep things. So the Duchess Wars was like, that was my break. And then The Rook, which was a beautiful political supernatural romp, thriller romp, which was delightful, like mystery solving, gumshoe detective sort of stuff. Then on Friday the 7th, we're recording on the 11th, I started the first book in the read-a-thon for me, which was the Promise of Blood by Brian McGillen. I read a lot of books. It's kind of hard to keep all their names straight. Didn't enjoy it. Made it to the end. Thank heavens it was only 526 pages, because I was over it by the time it was done. There were more books in the series, but it's not for me. So I'm in the middle of writing my review for that. I have started Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson, which is the longest tome that has been on my TBR the longest, because it's been there for 8 years to read. And that's the first in the series, so I'm reading that one now. And then I'm still sort of snippeting in The Idiot by Dostoevsky, originally not in English. Very serious, stinky book. And I tend to do that if I need some downtime where I'm not using my hands or anything because I'm listening to it. My eyes hurt. I can just close my eyes and I'm still using my brain while giving my body the rest that it needs. So that's slow going, because as soon as the Topol Read-A-Thon is done, I have 2-3 weeks to get all the CBC Canada read books read. They're all under 500 pages. So at least that's easier. And then once that's done, then I'm free to just read whatever I want to the next read-a-thon.
Nice.
Hey, I might do a video recording for the Triwizard Tournament this year. Because someone suggested getting the rules video format, and the lady's not comfortable doing video format, and I said, my face is on the internet. I'd totally do that for you. She's like, I might take you up on that. I'm like, absolutely. Like, I will sit and record a video about the rules for the Triwizard Tournament read-a-thon, because it's a really good read-a-thon. I can't tell if that's your bag or my cat.
Bag.
Cool.
Don't worry. Cat is,
probably
absent.
sleeping in the bedroom.
Probably. Alright, I, have the same book that I've had for a while. Book of Night with Moon.
Well, it's not on a read-a-thon and you don't have 2 weeks to get it done.
So I've been trying to read this I got it as a Secret Santa gift last Christmas, and I've been trying to read it as a physical.
2018? Because you say last Christmas, people will think 2019.
Yeah. So the last Christmas that was not the most recent one.
Christmas before last.
Yes.
There you go.
That's how that sentence should be structured. Anyway, I've had it for over a year. I've been reading it for over 2 months. I've determined that I simply have not figured out how to put reading a physical book into my daily routine. Because by the time I'm getting to bedtime, it's like, no, I just want to close my eyes and sleep. So I've discovered that there is in fact an audiobook, because I thought there wasn't, but there is. It is an Audible exclusive. So Book of Night with Moon is available.
Audible exclusive?
Yeah.
Means I could get it.
Or it's not like the exclusive. It's, I don't know, it has the only on Audible banner on it.
Ugh.
Anyway. So it is available as an audiobook. I bought it. I have been zooming through it.
Listen, having somebody read to you is a really nice, fancy experience. I'm just happy to do that on my phone whenever I want.
Yeah.
Like when I'm doing mountains of dishes.
I don't really have 20 spare minutes in most of my days, but my drive to work is about 20 minutes. My drive home is about 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Washing the dishes at the end of the day, about 20 minutes.
Yep.
There's an hour of reading.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah.
So, zooming right through it. It's been great.
I love Audible.
And
There's
so, in addition to cats, wizards, and a very detailed magic system, there are now dinosaurs.
Oh my god. Well, no wonder you like the book now. There's dinosaurs.
Cats, wizards, cat
Dinosaurs.
Wizards, dinosaurs.
Guys, I bought her a kid's book about dinosaurs making friends. This is how much we like dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs is my thing, or like...
It is your thing.
At 4 years old, I wanted to be a paleontologist. Do you know how many grown-ups look at you like you've got 16 heads when you're 3 or 4 years old telling people you want to be a paleontologist? A lot of adults don't know what that is, I discovered.
At 4, I was throwing dirt at my sister's head.
I don't think I've ever thrown dirt in my life.
Cool. So, come back and visit this summer and I'll throw dirt at you. It's not a problem. We'll call it gardening. Air quotes intended.
Gardening. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your excuse being, of course, whoops, I didn't see you there.
Now, yes. When I was younger, no excuse, my vision was fine. Now I can be like, oh, you were behind me, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I bring you an iced coffee this summer.
If you're bored enough, you will. What I see is happening is us Twitch streaming and us chatting at each other while we cooperatively play Stardew Valley is what I see happening.
Yeah, okay.
That I think people might actually tune into. Jocelyn, you paused it. Where did you go? Coffee! Hang on! Not going anywhere, it's fine. He only likes the void essence. Stupid rare drop loving boy.
But he's the nerd with the motorcycle.
He's the nerd with the motorcycle.
I just can't get over that.
It's the motorcycle, but he works on the computer and he plays like a Dungeons and Dragons-esque. Guys, it's a retro styled video game, and it's a farming sort of thing, but it is very Harvest Moon-esque. I said it sold like 10 million copies. It's a big video game now. I've played it for a good long while. Thank you, Copen, for that addiction. 200 plus hours. I've now sunk my life into that. Played it for a bit. And I love it. And I always end up starting new farms because I get bored about year 5. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to start again. And you can marry people. And it doesn't matter what gender you are versus the gender of the person you're marrying. You just have to woo them. And they all like different things. So I didn't know who I wanted to woo this time because I've been a girl married to a boy. I've been a girl married to a girl. I've been a boy married to a girl. So I could have done a boy married to a boy. That would have been fine. But I wanted to be a girl again. So I went girl, and I was like, well, let's pick a different boy this time. And the last boy I would like to pizza, so that was easy.
Simple.
Pizza, he played music, and he helped out at the farm once in a while. That's all I really need in-game. So I did that. So this time around I was like, well, what's the really complicated boy like? Super rare drops out of the mine. Of course he does.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he does.
Well, yeah.
But whatever. I had a cutscene. Turns out he has a motorcycle. So cool. And he plays Dungeons and Dragons, which is like an esque game. And so you have mini games in the game. And that's what I was doing when I discovered that. I have more rounds to go. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm really into the game. So that's the thing. That's it, right? Are we done?
I think we're done.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna go. You know what? It's late on a Tuesday evening, and I've had a lot of tea. I gotta go. So I'm gonna say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit. No.